So I've been looking at the Mandela Effect and how it's affecting us, and I never realised how powerful all this information was, and that actually the implications. I looked at this information about the Mandela Effect. I know it's been around probably 2 years, since 2016, and it's implying that there's change and people have false memories or are in a different reality. But you know, you look at stuff and it becomes information, and from information it becomes knowledge. But the profound thing is about this Mandela Effect is that it's actually physically changed us. And first of all, I'm going to show you a video of a nurse talking about the changes that the Mandela Effect has caused. Or you know, everything's different. The anatomy of the human is all in a different place, and as I said, you know, there's a lot of information from 2016 about this Mandela Effect, but we're in 2018 now, and it seems that the changes that are coming from the Mandela Effect are actually in full flow at the moment, but on a physical level. And as far as information's concerned, I looked at everything, and when we look at information, it's kind of like external from us, just something we're looking at. But when we realise we've had these changes go on inside our own bodies, and they most definitely have, I'm fully aware of this, and I find it actually, you know, really shocking what's actually going on. I've had non-stop discussions with my girlfriend about it, and it kind of it's bigger than a light bulb moment, put it that way. And I kind of missed the information, and I missed how the changes were affecting us in a crazy manner. A lot of people are just aware of that there are Mandela effects, and they're looking at the Mandela effects, but the main thing is that it's actually changed us physically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this video. It's a mirror video. I'll put the guy's details up so I can give him credit for his video. And I'll just play this video. It's a nurse talking about the changes in the human body due to the Mandela Effect. So this is the guy that I've mirrored the video off. I want to give him credit. It's SRPHD, and I'll leave a link at the bottom if you want to subscribe to his channel. He's got a lot of information about the Mandela Effect. Very interesting channel. Go have a look there.
Go ahead.
Hey, how you going, Sarah? So I was just ringing up. I just wondered if you could actually do a bit of detail about your background and what's happened with the Mandela Effect, with the anatomy changes and that, for everyone out there that's actually just gone through the experiments to give them a bit of satisfaction.
Sure. Yeah, I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse since 1979, and you know, back in the Sagittarian arm, our anatomy was much different than it is here, and I've definitely noticed it.
Okay, so can we get a bit of a description of different areas and stuff that's changed for people to get the understanding that it has changed?
Yeah, if we start from the head, the cerebellum, the small brain stem that's in the back of the head, that's way pushed up underneath the skull, which it never used to be. It used to be in the first cervical column, and it's now way up. And the temporal lobes on either side of the head are they have indents in, which they never did when I was in school, nursing school. And also behind the eyes, there's a bone now that was not there before. It used to be that, you know, it was clear space that you can actually go from the eye right into the brain. Now there's actually protective bone back there. So that's what's happening with the head.
Okay, what about going down from the top and going through the body if you can?
Okay, well, the shoulders are definitely, there's a major change in the shoulders. And I think that's why so many people are having trouble with their shoulders now, is because the whole makeup of the shoulders is totally different. There's like the back shoulder blade has like 3 different bones in it that it never had. It used to be just basically one flat bone. The clavicles are now straighter, and they don't actually come up higher up into where the thyroid is. So you got almost like a fuller bracing from the upper body. And then going down to the rib cage, the sternum used to be only like halfway down where it is now, and now the sternum actually goes almost to the middle of your chest, which it never used to do, and it's much thicker and wider, and the rib cage is very much bigger and very much longer.
Okay, the lungs themselves have got shorter as well, haven't they? And they're shrunk in size.
Yeah, the actual organs that are inside of the rib cage are totally different. The lungs are much shorter. The diaphragm is way up in the rib cage. It used to be below the rib cage, and all that was in the rib cage prior to this was basically the lungs and the heart. And now we have the stomach, the kidneys, the liver is humongous. These are all things that used to be below the diaphragm in the Sagittarian arm, and now the abdomen has just basically all just GI stuff, only gastrointestinal stuff, which it used to have a lot more. And it's kind of interesting that the kidneys are way as high as they are up in the rib cage is bizarre.
Okay, and a lot of people are saying that was it the radial artery and that, but we were talking about that before another time, and it's only some people have actually changed that experience in different realities. But can you just explain what it used to be and what it's been and what's going on now?
Oh, the radio. Okay, so when you take your pulse, a lot of people have said that they used to take their pulse in the center of their wrist. For me, actually, it always was on the radial artery, which is the thumb. But like I said, some people have experienced that's changed. The heart actually is definitely more in the center of the chest. It's not where it was to the left, and it is bigger. The heart is actually bigger. It was a smaller organ. It's now built in strength. That you can see it's much bigger.
Oh, okay. All right, gorgeous. Well, appreciate your time and allowing me to actually get hold of you and find out this information to give people a bit of satisfaction out there. So I hope you check out my YouTube channel and I'll catch you out.
All right. Thanks so much.
So my experience with the Mandela Effect, this is just after watching the nurse literally explain to us all our organs are in a different place. Over the past few months, and let me just explain that on a personal level I've done an awful lot of meditation and also studied Reiki and became a Reiki master, and so it left me with a great kind of feeling within myself of energy. Also I had bad heart palpitations in my lifetime, and I knew that I used to lie there with my hand tucked under my left chest muscle, and I'd feel these thumps come from the heart, and I knew where my heart was. It was just to the left of me, of my breastbone. It was to the left always. And recently, over the past few months, I've had difficulty swallowing as well. Difficulty swallowing, and also kind of like a numbness from chest down to the waist, like a numbness, like a lack of feeling. And as a practitioner of energy and just kind of rolling energy around my own body, you become very aware of how you feel. And what I can say is that the feelings, I feel kind of numb. I feel kind of numb because what I've discovered is that my heart has actually changed positions. It's now in the centre, which has come as a major shock. Everything's feeling good. I feel pretty good. I'm not a spring chicken, but I feel really good. No shoulder pain. There's a lot of the changes happening in your shoulders as well. The shoulders have actually changed. But as I was saying before about the feelings I had large chunks of kind of like feelings of all around the solar plexus all the time, being very aware of the solar plexus. And this could well have been the changes happening. But the changes happening, you would imagine the changes that have gone on for the people who understand it, are so dramatic. You would have thought that you would have felt more than just a slight, you know, a lot of people are going through a lot of pain. This isn't me on a personal level. I felt like I didn't feel a major adjustment. I felt my heart, I felt as if my heart had gone missing. I felt fairly emotionless for a while. I didn't feel like myself. I was saying that I don't really feel like me. Other things were like eating. You know, I had to chew everything an awful lot, and it's very apparent that our stomachs have changed. And you know, I'm sat there with my stomach rumbling the other night, and it's freaking me out because it's underneath me underneath my left chest rib cage now. And to remember what your body used to be like, and then to kind of have this, well, it's a new avatar, isn't it? And this new body. It also begs the question, why didn't the injuries that I have heal? Maybe they're not supposed to. They may be supposed to heal on a different level. But I also have found that a hip problem I've had for 3 years has been getting better over the last 6-7 months. I couldn't walk further than about 25 yards without constant hip pain. It was a thing called piriformis syndrome. I found out what that was, and I was doing a stretch to counteract it. And any which way that you heal, I always consider it, you know, to be positive. You know, you've got to think positive and receive the positive elements that come to you. So it doesn't matter how you heal, as long as you've healed, or you are healing. Yeah, it's kind of, I won't say freaked me out this, but it's just made me really kind of question, you know, the whole aspect of how was this done, you know, in the, you know, just a little, what is it, you know, the architect, like in the Matrix, giving us all a tweak. It's so difficult to even try and comprehend that your body's different. And I've actually spoken to people about this. I've spoken to my father. My father's in his 80s, my mother's in her 80s. My mother thinks I'm quite mad, but I don't mind because she's my mum. But I kind of broached a question the other day about what she thought the internal organs were. So we got an old medical book out, and you know, there it was. Everything that's changed. It's not just changed, you know, your body hasn't just changed, the whole of everything's changed. So we're in a different reality. And it's obviously very close to the reality that we were in last. But we're seeing these discrepancies and these changes. I can't say that I could notice anything physically around me that's changed. Like, you know, all my stuff's still here, but, you know, it's such a bizarre thing. But check your own body. See what you feel. Are you in tune? Are you self-aware? Are you aware enough to know where your heart was? You know, we've now got our kidneys tucked up into the rib cage as well, with a massive 2-part liver. Completely nuts. My girlfriend, she suffers a lot of shoulder pain. She's having a lot of discomfort in the stomach at the moment. So what I was thinking was perhaps she's, you know, we're all kind of changing at, obviously not at the same time, but we're all changing in a kind of on a personal level. And the implications for as far as our mentality is concerned, obviously would be very questionable. As I was saying before about talking to my mother, talk to my mum, and she always argues me about everything. But what I found is that when I showed her some information, she kind of looked, you know, she did actually look, because what you'll find is a lot of when you're trying to actually address something, people are directing their argumentative side to you as an individual, not necessarily the information. So if you're going to talk about this to anybody, show them the information that you understand, and let them find old images, or that they wouldn't even be old images, or images of human organs and where they were. And would it be that the people who don't remember where they were, would it be the people who remember them being where they are now that are on this timeline? And would it be the people who don't remember on a different timeline? That would make sense to me, but it's absolutely bizarre. Check your own body. It's kind of really a dramatic kind of concept that is a reality. Like I said, I've been trying to talk to everyone about this, and it's kind of brushed off because perhaps everyone's not as involved in trying to find information about where they came from, why they're here, what we're doing, how to run the program to the best of your own ability, how to treat yourself right, all of these things. So I've researched for a long time, and a lot of these things they don't go away from me. I live in a little place here, so I've got as much time to think about things as possible. I knew something was coming, and I didn't know what it was. I've dreamt about this all my life. Well, for a good period of my life, I dreamt about there's going to be a change. I used to see it in there's got the end of the world, but obviously, we know that we never die. So consequently, it's kind of like you're waiting for something. But this Mandela Effect, even though it's been around a couple of years, the initial information is so very current, and everything is current about the Mandela Effect because it's constant. We're changing. We seem to be evolving into something. There could be other ideas that CERN is creating a problem with this. There's a lot of people talk about Ascension, and what is Ascension? Is this part of our Ascension? And then there's so you've got your doubters and your positive individuals. It's about the Ascension. Personally, I think just treat yourself well, and the outcome will be good. I don't believe there's going to be a negative outcome. I just don't. I can't foresee it. It's kind of been. I've kind of been awake to this for a long time. Not awake to this specific Mandela Effect, but awake to there's something radically wrong with everything, with society, with people, with everything, the way we treat each other. So consequently, you got to examine this. It's crazy, but it's reality. And what does that make you kind of understand? It makes you understand that your reality isn't what you thought it was. It's something else. As to what it's going to be, we don't know. I don't know. So I kind of rambled on. It's really bothered me, this. But it's really bothered me because where's my heart gone? I can't even feel it. It's right in the middle of my rib cage. It's absolutely mad. So if you need to know more, go and research it. You've got to research it. Without any research, you're kind of blind to all of these things. So some guy, waffling on. Go research it. It's really important that you know these things while you're changing. We cannot. I think we can only change for the better, and the point being that the new design that we've got is actually better than the old design. But at the same time, I wasn't used to this new one. I kind of feel really weird in myself. I feel okay. I feel good, but I don't feel like I feel like something's changed. But it's not on a massive level. It's on our body a self-intuitive body level, you know, where you were aware of your organs. I used to have a chat to all my internal organs, you know, come on, you know, like we're a team, let's function well. And you kind of get to know where everything is. But since this, yeah, it's as wacky as it could be. But, you know, research it, and good luck with our change that's going on, because it's affecting us all. So go have a look.